What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, be honest, was anybody looking forward to Star Wars The High Republic leading up to its launch? I mean, was the excitement just off the charts? Were people talking about this? Was it blowing up social media? I don't think so. All right, nobody was really looking forward to this thing. When we saw all the promotional material, it just looked corny as fuck. Just admit it, all right? All of the drawings look sick. They look pale. Avar Chris looked like a freaking washed up David Bowie or some shit, or some wannabe. You know, it looked like crap, you know, and everybody knew it. Everybody was calling it. And then, you know, you had The Mandalorian on the other side, which was like really creating a buzz. Everyone was feeling this thing. Man, what is this going to be? What's it going to be like? You know, and all this stuff. And then when it kicked off, a lot of people were like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And even though it's far from perfect, and yes, it causes problems with the lore and the continuity, it's just enough in its feel like Star Wars to put it over the top and to bring people back that had previously been turned on off to Star Wars. I mean, there's no denying it. We see this, all right? You can nitpick it all over the place. You can talk about what it doesn't do. I'm not going to argue with that because I know that it's true. But what is also true is that there are people who are feeling this, and there are people who are coming back to Star Wars, and there are people who want to buy the merchandise. Baby Yoda is a runaway hit. You know, there's no denying this stuff. I know this much is true. Ha, 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 ha. You know what I mean? So there's no denying it. This much is true. The Mandalorian is a hit. Whereas The High Republic it's nothing. It's a big old pile of nothing. You know, and now, because it's being proven to be nothing, they want to cry about it. Oh, it's the Mandalorian's fault that we're not a hit. They should have told us that they were going to do Luke Skywalker. We can't compete with that. Well, look. For the last 10 years, you people have been avoiding Luke Skywalker. You avoided the legend. You talked it down in The Last Jedi. I failed because I was Luke Skywalker. The legend. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody on the planet wanted to hear that. So if you're going in that direction, you're going in the direction of failure. That's all there is to it. If you want the Star Wars fans, if you want the love, you're going to bring in Luke Skywalker. And when you bring in Luke Skywalker, you should be bringing in Han Solo and Leia and Chewie. And you should be bringing them in the right way, the respectable way, the loving way. That's the recipe for success, my friend. You don't fuck with the recipe, all right? You just cook it up and serve it just like Grandma used to make. She put her foot in it. Sticks to the ribs, it does. George Lucas, the creator. That's the blueprint right there. And if you're deviating from that, well, you're going to hit that brick wall, and there's no crying foul about it. But here you have this article here in Bounding into Comics, where indeed you have the creators of Star Wars The High Republic blubbering, whining, boo-hooing, because they're trying to act like The Mandalorian showed them up by embracing Luke Skywalker when you were just abusing Luke Skywalker. You were trying to distance yourself from the Skywalkers. You saw the trailer for this High Republic bullshit. At one point, they flash across the screen years before the Skywalker saga, as if they did it first. Listen and listen good. There would be no Star Wars without Luke Skywalker. Do you understand that? You should be kissing this man's ass, and you should be worshiping these characters. You shouldn't be trying to distance yourself from it. This is what made it the smash that it is. Only an idiot would say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to distance ourselves from everything that made this a smash hit, and then cry about it when it fails. But this is what you have in this Bounding into Comics article. All right, so I'm going to get to a little bit of it. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's pathetic, right? So let's see. Where can I pick this up here? Let's see. There's this new rumor from WDW Pro at Pirates and Princesses. It claims that the Lucasfilm Story Group believes that the reveal of Luke Skywalker in the finale of The Mandalorian second season took all the oxygen out of the High Republic. What oxygen are we talking about? Nobody was caring about this. It didn't have a buzz, man. Accept it. Stop being in denial, all right? You can't do that. You know what George Lucas did? You can't do that, okay? All you can do is put it down and say, you know what? you got this, man. I don't know what the hell to do with this. My mind just doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? I'm just not that talented. Sometimes, you can take that L, man. You can be a student. That's what you can be. Don't try to do what he did, man. It's like you don't have the inspiration, and it's obvious. All right, so they're mad about it because The Mandalorian was a hit, and the High Republic is not. As a matter of fact, they're being called out for all types of errors already in the first issue, guys, that they did. They used a lightsaber to stop the so-called Jedi from falling. Now, this would be the Jedi with the shaved half head, the stereotype that you see in just about every IP, every title that you can name. There's always got to be a black woman with half a shaved head, like she had a fucking lobotomy or something like that. That's what it is. She had a lobotomy. She used, I don't know, she used a lightsaber to cut open that part of her brain or something like that. That's supposed to be something that's this cool, I guess. It's biting. It's cutting edge. So anyway, they made a mistake there. All right, and of course, who can forget the writer? What the hell is her name? Where she did something like this, and she said, "May the force be with you." Hey, look, dumbass. Hey, look, ho. You're talking about the wrong story. You're talking about Star Trek, Mr. Spock. If you're doing something like this, you should be saying, "Live long and prosper." You should be saying, "I have always been and will always be yours. I will always be your friend. Ship out of danger." You should be doing shit like that, all right? There's no doing this and saying, "May the force be with you." You're showing me right there. You're showing me your card that says I'm a fake-ass fan. That's what you're showing me, all right? Get the hell out of here with that. So anyway, they're actually furious that they were not told that Luke Skywalker would show up in The Mandalorian. Why should they tell you anything? Write your own story. Why are you crying, man? Why? It's like, what happened to friendly competition? You guys all work for Lucasfilm, right? So whatever they're doing over there with The Mandalorian, you should be thinking to yourself, where did they get a load of me? No, but you were so busy trying to dodge Luke Skywalker. You were so busy trying to dodge George Lucas's vision like it was a landmine or something, and you bragged about it in the trailer. No, we're far from the Skywalker saga. Shut up. Nobody wants to hear that. We want to hear something. We want to see like something exciting. We don't necessarily need to see the Skywalkers, although, for my money, like I said, I'm not some Star Wars scholar or whatever. There's plenty of stories you can tell. All right, but it's not a bad thing to have a Skywalker tie-in, if it's natural, but to purposefully downplay it and to purposefully disrespect the legacy of George Lucas and the character of or the lore of the Skywalkers, you're just wasting time, man. The people have spoken. You saw the way everybody got up and cheered and stuff like that. Then you have Hidalgo, sour grapes. And this is what they're talking about. They're talking about this rumor of a civil war, right? Where you have Kathleen Kennedy and her vision over here, and you have Jon Favreau and his vision over there. And a lot of people are upset because Jon Favreau is getting all of the glory and the accolades and for doing something right, not doing something perfect, but just moving the needle a little bit in the right direction after years of having it shoved down our throat in the wrong direction, right? So they're mad because they feel like Kathleen Kennedy is not getting her respect because after all, she is the boss who's in charge. Now, anybody who works on a job knows that the boss is usually the one who sits on his ass or her ass in an office while other people are doing the actual work. All right, and usually they get to take a bow, when everything goes right. But the best thing usually they can do is stay out of the way. That's why people delegate work, and have different managers and supervisors and stuff like that who actually know the technical side of what they're doing. I don't believe Kathleen Kennedy wrote any stories. I don't believe she came up with any characters. But, she wants to be able to take a bow because she's, of course, at the head of that table. But we all know that left to her own devices, all she wants to do is serve her own agenda. She wants to remake the Star Wars universe in her own image, and that has not worked. The sequel trilogy is going to go down in history as the biggest failure in cinematic history. I don't think people are going to want to remember this. It has the distinction of not getting a comic book adaptation. I think it's like the only movie in the Star Wars universe that got that because people are in a hurry to forget this. But The Mandalorian, however, is generating excitement, and like I said before, if they have the actual balls to go forward and try to address the disgruntled fans and the legitimate gripes that we've had up until now, then maybe, just maybe, they can lessen some of the damage that was done. We don't want to see washed up Luke Skywalker. That was a mistake, and generations from now we'll know it's a mistake. So listen, stop trying to be prideful and stubborn and just admit it. You fucked up. You were rushing and you wanted to feed us what you wanted to feed us and collect the money, and you were going to dictate to us. You were going to give us all of this bullshit Star Wars. Get back in touch with the fans. I've been saying this from the very beginning. Get in touch with the fans. Listen to what we're talking about. We're not trying to hurt anybody. We're not trying to insult anybody. We just want the story to be done right. We want the stories to be done right. It doesn't have to all be about Luke Skywalker, but it damn sure doesn't have to disgrace him either. All right? So, actually, I'm not going to read this article anymore. I'm just going to leave the link in the description so you can read it yourself. If you haven't heard about it already, you can see what's going on. All right? Do you think there's some truth to this? That there's warring factions within Lucasfilm? If the slightest possibility is there that it's true, that's the reason why we lift up our voices and say which direction that we want them to go in. We just don't throw down everything and say, well, all roads are going to lead to Jake Skywalker. No. All right. If we're paying customers, if we want to be paying customers, if we're seeing what they're doing and what they're doing is wrong, then we say we don't appreciate this. We're the consumers. We're the fans who have been there for years and years and years. We say we don't appreciate it. But if it looks like they're going in a direction where there could be some promise, hey, go that way. Do more of that and less of this. And maybe we can do something here. The voice of the fans, the voice of the people is always going to be, it's going to be the bottom line, because we're the ones who are spending the money. So guys, what do you think about this? Do you think that there is a civil war? Do you think there's any point to this civil war? Do you think that the Mandalorian is to blame for the failure of the High Republic or the lackluster reception that it's gotten thus far? Do you think that not revealing Luke Skywalker and having him turn up, do you think that's what did it? What are your thoughts on all of this? You can get in the comment section and let me know. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, and you can catch me on Twitter. I was on Parler, but it's gone now. It's gone. So catch me on Twitter while it's still there, guys. And I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.